Are you AWS certified, Azure certified, or Google certified and struggling to get your first cloud architect or solution architect job? Then this video is for you. Hi, my name is Michael Gibbs, and I'm the founder and CEO of Go Cloud Architects and Go Cloud Careers, an organization towards building elite cloud computing and networking careers. Personally, I've been working in tech for 25 years, and I've been helping others get their first tech job or get promoted in tech for over 2 decades. And my absolute favorite thing was when one of my students calls me and says, "Guess what, Mike? I just got cloud hired." Today, we're going to talk about how you go from AWS certified or Azure certified or Google certified to cloud architect hired or solution architect hired. Now, when we say this, I want you to understand first, I absolutely love IT certifications. I have a few myself, and I love them. But here's the thing. Certifications can help someone make up for gaps on their resume, and they can help someone get an interview to be a cloud architect or a solutions architect. But certifications will not get you hired. I'm going to say this again, it's so important. Certifications will not get you hired. If you have one certification or a million certifications, certifications will not get you hired, but certifications will get you that job interview. And that job interview is a critical component to getting cloud hired, whether it's as a solution architect or a cloud architect or anything else. So we love certifications for that. The ability to help us get an interview, which is absolutely critical. Let's talk about why certifications aren't enough to get you that cloud architect job or the solution architect job. What are IT certifications? ITC certifications or vendor certifications are really teaching you how to work with a vendor's technology. So when we look at the AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate or Professional, or the Azure Expert or the Google Professional Cloud Architect, 90% of these exams are made up of the name of a service and how that service is configured. And when we look at the certification and the training provided by certification providers, it is the name of a service and how to configure it. Here is an S3 bucket. Here's how you configure it. Here is an EC2 instance. Here's how you configure it. Here's an Azure virtual machine. Here's how you configure it. But I want you to understand this. As cloud architects, we don't generally configure anything. We're systems designers. So what do we do as cloud architects? We meet with clients. We ask them about their business goals, their business pain points, their business challenges. What are they trying to achieve? Are they trying to increase their sales? Are they trying to decrease their expenses? Are they trying to improve collaboration and communication with employees in order to release new products to market faster? See, what we do as architects is we solve customer problems. So what is our skill set? Our skill set is very different than the name of a service or how to configure it. That's the problem with the AWS certifications, the Azure certifications, or the Google certifications. That's why they will never get you your cloud architect job or solution architect job, but they will get you that interview. And then if you've got the cloud architect skills or the solution architect skills, you're going to get hired and you're going to have a fantastic job. And since I want everybody to get that cloud architect job or solution architect job, I'm going to tell you what's missing from certification training. What do we do as architects? We solve customer problems with technology. That means system design. So what are we designing? We're designing a solution to the customer's problems. And in most cases, as a cloud architect or a solutions architect, we're going to be pulling the technology from the network and the data center and moving it over to the cloud. So what is this technology we're moving? We're moving networking and data center technology, which are not covered in certifications, at least not to any level of degree. So if we're moving 10,000 virtual machines over to the cloud, we have to truly understand virtualization, the performance of those virtual machines, etc. The applications that we're moving to the cloud, how it affect it. What does moving to the cloud do to the workflow that the people are doing? Should we recode applications to go to the cloud? Should we lift and shift them to go to the cloud? What's in the best interest of the company? One cloud, two clouds, hybrid cloud plus multi-cloud. That's what we're talking about as an architect. So it's system design. And none of that from a technical perspective is covered in any type of certification, whether it's the AWS Certified Solution Architect Professional, the Azure Expert, or the Google Professional Cloud Architect. It's just not there. But that's the technical piece. Now, understand that a cloud architect is 50% technical and 50% non-technical, 50% executive leader. And again, none of that is actually taught in certification training. So let's talk about that. If our goal is digital transformation, we must be able to understand the customer's business to create a solution for that business. Which means if we don't have the business acumen to understand what the customer is telling us in terms of top line revenue or earnings per share or EBITDA, etc., we can't even figure it out. We can't even make the recommendations of whether it's good to stay in the data center versus the cloud if we don't understand the company's capital structure, their weighted average cost of capital, etc. So business acumen, absolutely critical for the cloud architect. And if you want to be a cloud architect, make sure you've got some business acumen training. Now, as a cloud architect, after we interact with the client and we learn about their business and we figure out an architecture that's going to improve it, we're going to have to go back and present that architecture to the customer, which means you must have really good presentation skills. And you have to know the difference in presentation skills between presenting to the CEO, the CFO, the CIO, versus the VP, versus the engineer that you're going to interact with. And as an architect, you're going to interact with a lot of them. And you're going to be translating between what the engineers tell you and what the executives need to hear, or what the executives are telling you with something that the engineers need to hear in order to help build your solution. So you're going to be doing so much of it, and that kind of business acumen is there. Presentation skills are critical. Whether you're presenting to customers, executive briefings, industry conferences, as a cloud architect or a solution architect, presentations are going to be almost an everyday thing for you. Now, as a cloud architect, you're going to be doing a lot of writing. So your written communication skills need to be extraordinary. You need to know how to write an executive summary, as well as an executive version of your architectures for the executive team that's going to be the decision makers with the money. You're going to have to produce something that's middle of the road, that's for the management team, that's managing the engineers, that sits between the engineers and the executives. And you're going to have to know how to write for engineers and how what they need to communicate like. So you're going to be doing a lot of writing as an architect. And again, none of this is taught there, but it's a learnable skill. It's a trainable skill. Next, leadership. As a cloud architect, you're going to be constantly leading teams. For example, we might be doing a proof of concept and have to lead a team of 50 cloud engineers. And if we don't have the leadership skills, we're not going to be able to do it. We're going to have to be going into our own company and asking for resources. Please let me borrow your best cloud infrastructure architect, your best cloud security architect for the next 2 months. Please let me borrow your cloud IAM architect for the next 2 months. So we're going to have to do that. We're going to have the leadership skills to go into our companies, to ask our company's executives to loan us people. And we're going to have to manage those people and make them desire to work. Because remember, they're not going to be working for us when they're doing proof of concepts and deployments. Why? They work for someone else. They're on loan to us. So we have to make people want to work, people we can't discipline, people that don't report to us, which is a bigger challenge, which requires extremely good leadership skills. Now, for us to even be able to get the right information as architects, we're going to have to ask the executives about their business, which means we have to be relevant to them. We need to know which questions we can ask and which things we can say. I've seen engineers try and talk about the tech to the CEO and literally speaking, get escorted out of the room in 60 seconds. But if we talk to the executives as peers, we can listen to what they tell us as peers. From there, we can craft the technology solution. So whether it's selling it back to the executives or even eliciting the information, we have to be relevant, and we need to know how to communicate to the CEO, the CIO, the CTO, the CFO. And we need to understand the different personality types of the executives, whether they're functional personality types or intuitive or analytical. And we need to know how to craft our message for the different personality types, as well as communicate with the different personality types, as well as listen and learn from the communication types, because we all learn and have different personalities, and that matters. AWS certifications, Google certifications, or Azure certifications are wonderful certifications. These certifications show your familiarity with the vendor services. These certifications will help you get an interview. These are great certifications, but no, they're not going to get you hired. So get the necessary certifications to get your interview. And then focus the rest of your time on developing your cloud architect technical competency, your solution architect technical competency, your cloud architect business acumen skills, your presentation skills, your writing skills, your leadership skills, your CXO relevancy, your negotiation skills, etc. Build up that, and you will have the perfect cloud architect career or solution architect career. So learn the skills you need for your job, master them, use certifications to help you get that interview. And while the certifications get you that interview, all those other great things you learned are going to get you cloud hired. So go get that solution architect job or that cloud architect job, because now you're going to be ready to be cloud hired. This is Michael Gibbs. I'm the founder and CEO of Go Cloud Architects and Go Cloud Careers, helping you build the best cloud architect or solution architect career. I look forward to seeing you in another video coming very soon. Take care. It was so nice having you join us for this video today. Let me tell you about some free services we do for the cloud community. Once per week, we actually have a free question and answer session live on YouTube, where you can come and ask us any questions you want about building your career related to cloud computing or networking, and we'll answer them in real time for you, because we want to get you to your goals. Several more times per week, we have guests from industry experts that I have known for decades, that are movers and shakers that have changed the world, that can give you information so you can build the best career. I invite them periodically. They are on my show. If there's a chance to do some free training on our channel, we'll do it live, because we want you all to have the best skills for the best career. So please subscribe and hit the bell. I look forward to seeing you, and I look forward to assisting you in your technology career. Thank you so much. This is Michael Gibbs from Go Cloud Architects.